Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today I have a fun video for you. I have my personal full review of my beautiful Palm Springs mini backpack from Louis Vuitton. So if you want to see everything I think about this bag, definitely keep on watching. For those of you who might be new here, thanks so much for checking this out. I'm a full-time working mom, but in my spare time I really like making these videos on fashion, beauty, mommy lifestyle, luxury, in addition to my experiences on Poshmark. So if that kind of thing sounds at all interesting to you, definitely keep on watching. Also, if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, please hit that subscribe button link down below. It'll really help me out as well. Okay, so for today again, I'm going to take you on a full review and my thoughts about this beautiful, cute little backpack. And for me, at least on my channel, these luxury handbag videos tend to do pretty well and are pretty popular. And I can definitely understand why, because at least for me personally, these are the types of videos I search on other people's channels. If you're going to spend a decent amount of your hard-earned money on these luxury items, you definitely want to get a better sense of if that item's going to work for you and your lifestyle. So I really hope this video helps you out. I know before I made this particular purchase several years ago, I watched a ton of YouTube videos on this bag before I decided to go ahead and purchase it for myself. So I'm hoping this will help you as well. So this bag I've had now for several years. I had it close to when it first came out, and I am just still in love with this bag. So this bag definitely has some cons as well, which I will get into, but overall, if you want to take a fun little splurge and treat yourself to something really fun, cute, and I'd say relatively practical, I would definitely give this some thought. So I want to take you through a full review of the bag first, give you some dimensions, a little history about it. I'm going to share with you what types of items fit inside this bag, because I know that's definitely a consideration, because I would consider this a mini bag. And then I, of course, will end with some mod shots to kind of give you an idea of how you can wear this bag as well. Okay, so this bag is known as the Louis Vuitton Palm Springs mini backpack. The Palm Springs line comes in other different sizes of backpacks. However, this is a smaller, so mini version, and this is the one that has the thin straps. The other versions, or the larger Palm Springs backpacks, have the thicker padded straps. So this is the smallest mini version. This particular bag and this model came out in 2016, and I got it shortly thereafter. I believe I got this in 2017, and when it first came out, it was super popular, trendy, and just kind of seen everywhere. And at first, to be honest, when I saw this bag, I said, wow, that's really cute, but you know, it's really not going to work for me. Look at how small it is. It's just not a practical bag for me, so I definitely passed when it first came out. But as I saw it more and more, like a lot of these handbags, it started to grow on me, and I kind of fell in love with it. So I decided to go ahead and give it a try for myself as well. So this is the original version of this backpack. So part of the reason why I want to do this video now is that within the past year, they did revamp it a little bit and make a newer model, and I'll share with you some of those changes. But because that newer model came out, I think there's been kind of a renewed interest in this particular model of handbag. So I wanted to kind of share with you my thoughts on it. I thought it was good timing for that. In terms of dimensions, according to the Louis Vuitton website, this particular bag measures 6.5 inches in width, it measures 8.5 inches in height, and it measures 4 inches in depth. So overall, I would consider this a small or mini handbag. Definitely doesn't hold a whole lot, but it can hold more than you think, as I'll show you in a few minutes. As you can see, I have this version in monogram canvas, which I absolutely love and gravitated toward. They do make other versions as well. They have a monogram reverse, where you have the two-tone monogram pattern, as I'm sure you all are aware of. And they also make special edition bags. I know that they make a Palm Springs mini world tour where you can customize the patches that go on your bag. And they also come out occasionally with special editions of these as well, or seasonal versions too. So this bag has many wonderful features, I would say, and make it very practical in the sense that there is no vachetta on this particular version, as you can see. It's the actual leather here and the coated leather and padded leather on the handle here. So this is really, I'd say, carefree. I would consider it one of my most carefree bags, and I did a whole video on carefree handbags. In case you're interested in seeing them, I will link that down below. But I did feature this as one of those options because, in my opinion, it really is carefree. I think if you get it wet, you can just wipe it clean, and it doesn't really get dirty much, and even if it does, you can just quickly wipe it off. So I think it's a real carefree bag because of the trimming that it has on it. So I will go closer and show you some of the features of this bag in case you wanted to see it up close. So as you can see, it has the Louis Vuitton leather piece right here. And then it has one front zipper here. And this is one of the cons that I'll get into, is it's pretty hard to access this pocket. The zipper, to be honest, is pretty easy to use on this particular version, but when you try to open it, there is this covered flap over it, and it is very small pocket, as you can see here. So it's hard to get things in there, but there's a small little pocket there that's functional, that closes pretty easily, and it has these little leather pull tabs on the side. On the bottom here, there's a loop of leather, which is technically, I believe, a scarf loop that you can tie a scarf to or use for other things that you want to tie on there. There are no feet on the bottom. And on the back is where you have your strap attachments, as you can see, and these are removable. There's a clip where you can unclip this and hook it back on the D-rings. And this allows for a lot of adjustability, such that you can convert this from a backpack to a shoulder bag to a crossbody. There is some quilting and padding here on the back canvas, as you can see. And on the top here, one of the great features, in my opinion, is this little hand carry option here, this small little handle, which is the padded coated leather there. So the front entry is just one main entry, and as you can see here, since this is the original version or model, it has the covered zippered placket here, and it has a zipper pull. So I will show you the inside of the bag. And it is a textile black lining, so it's going to be a little hard to see, but hopefully you can see that in there. And there's one pocket all the way in the back. It's a slip pocket. And then there's the leather placket here. Mine is made in Italy. And then otherwise it's just one big open entry. There is a serial number or code on the back wall here, as you can see, in case you're curious to look for something like that. And that's basically the tour. It is a pretty mini bag, but that's what it looks like up close. In terms of wear and tear, as you can see, it's really held up quite nicely. I haven't used it a ton, I'll say, even though I've had it for a few years now, but that's not because I don't love it. It's just because I have other handbags I like to use as well, and I like to rotate them. But there really isn't any significant wear, in my opinion. I think one of the concerns is having this covered zippered placket wear, but on mine, as you can see, it's pretty good. I haven't really had problems with that. The straps also do still look pristine, and they are adjustable, I should mention as well. As you can see here, they have several different adjustment options. So overall, as you can tell, even on the bottom and corners, there really isn't any significant amount of wear here, which is why I think it's such a great, versatile, carefree style. Okay, so one of the major questions that people always ask about this bag is what can fit inside, right? Because it is considered a smaller mini bag in my opinion, and for someone particularly with my kind of lifestyle, I have 4 kids as I mentioned, I have a full-time job, things are pretty hectic day to day, such that I often have to carry a lot of stuff. I really didn't think this was going to be very practical for me, so I was really curious on what really can this hold. So I will show you. I will say in this front pocket, it's hard to put things that you need to have easy access to just because it's such a small pocket. I think the zipper is smooth, so it's easy to work with the zipper, at least on my version, but it's just hard to get in there because it's so small and the top covered zippered placket kind of gets in the way. So what I like to put in here is my key fob for my car, where it's a keyless entry, so I can go ahead and just leave it on me like this, but then I won't have to access it on a day-to-day. So I think it's perfect for something like that, or other things where you just don't have to access too much, but you want with you maybe a little bit of spare cash or things like that. I think would be useful in this pocket. But things that you need to go in and out of for many times a day, I think just doesn't work well. In the main placket here, as you can see, my zipper is actually pretty smooth. I think that's one of the cons, as I'll talk about, is the zipper here and the entry. I did no special treatments to the zipper, and it's pretty easy to manipulate. So I think for my version, that hasn't been a huge problem, but I can see how some people would think that would be a con. In the back pocket here, I don't really keep much. I think that the pocket is placed in a weird location, to be honest, because if you fill this bag up, the front's going to be filled, and it's really hard to access the back wall pocket, if you know what I mean. So I sometimes put things in there that I just don't want to access again, so same types of things. You can put key fobs in there, extra cash, some cards that you won't use regularly, those kind of things I think may work well. But other than that, it's really hard to access that back pocket, and I don't think you really need it. I think the bag is pretty small enough such that, in my opinion, you don't really need to have a lot of organization in the bag because there isn't a lot of space anyway. So in terms of the big pocket area, to be honest, it actually holds a lot more than I thought it would. So I've been pleasantly pleased about that. I think this bag will hold all of my essentials. It doesn't hold much more than that, but that's really all I need oftentimes. So I will show you a few items to kind of give you a better sense of what actually can fit inside comfortably. So I'm just pulling a few items, essentials I think, that I can fit in here on a day-to-day. I'll kind of give you a better sense of what fits. So first is my mini pochette. And this bag, I tend to, well, right now it's empty, but I tend to fill it up with some essentials in here. So I think that this is always a must because you need to put some basics in here, extra contacts, Kleenex, hand sanitizer. Now these are masks, you know, things like that that you just want to carry around, but you don't want floating around in a bag like this. I think go great in a little pouch or mini pochette like this. And this fits quite comfortably, as I'll show you. So there it is. There's still room to spare, as you can see, like that. And I tend to just kind of throw things in here. A lot of people do what we call Tetris, of course, where they have a special place and have to kind of wedge things in to this bag so it fits perfectly. In my opinion, for this particular bag, I do not want to do that because if everything is fit perfectly like Tetris, when I go in there to grab something, if I want a particular thing, it's so tight in there to get out. And then also when I go back to put it in, there's just not enough space for it. So I want a little bit of wiggle room, and I never chock full this bag of stuff just for that reason. I think because it's so small, you need to have access to your things in a more comfortable way. So then that's my essentials. I don't carry much, but if I have some essentials, I'll put it in there. I often use this Louis Vuitton clay as a wallet, or you can use it for some extra keys, of course. So there's so many different ways to use this, but it's a mini little pouch that I would use as a wallet in my particular case. And of course, that's going to fit really nicely in there, no problem. And then I just have two other items just for size reference. I do have my Chanel Chance, which I love, perfume in here. And this is the little travel version, which is adorable. So I do like this travel size fragrance just for purses like this. I think it works perfectly and it's nicely self-contained. And of course, there it is. It fits really nice on the side here. Really no problem. And then I have actually this really cool foldable pair of sunnies that I got, and if you can find these types of sunglasses, I think they work really well for this bag. So this was initially one of my pet peeves about this bag, is that I always wear sunglasses when I go out. I think it's great for sun protection, but also I think it just looks good when you're outside wearing sunglasses. So I always wear sunglasses. The problem is I don't always want to leave it on my head when I'm storing it when I'm indoors. I like to keep it in my bag, and I also do oftentimes with my regular glasses. So my regular glasses do fit inside this bag comfortably, which is a plus. And then for sunglasses, I was looking for a foldable version like this. So this is the full sunglass, and look how small the case is. So I think it's perfect. This is from Jamie Foxx's line Privé Revaux, and they make some really cool, very affordable eyewear, and this is what it looks like. Isn't this cool? It's a foldable sunglass. So the glass just folds out like this and the sides go up. So I do like to leave it in the case, although you don't have to. It would be even smaller if there wasn't a case, but I like how the case is mini sized as well. And this particular sunglass fits super easily into this bag. These are really my essentials. I would say you could even keep, if you carry a separate additional set of keys, would fit in here nicely. Other things too, separately, as you can see, would fit in here because there's still a lot of room, but those really are my essentials, I would say. In addition, of course, I will also carry a phone. So I'm just gonna grab my phone here. This is the iPhone 10, and of course this fits in very nicely too. So there you have it. Those are all of my essentials. There's a lot of wiggle room still in here, so I can definitely wedge a few more things in here very comfortably. But again, I don't want to pack it super full just because I want to have easy access and feel comfortable going in and out of the items here. So that's kind of how I like to carry this bag. So really all I want to carry in a bag like this is my essentials. So how I like to use this is I use this on my day-to-day. So especially these days when we're not going out of the house all that much anymore, I like to take this when I just go out for quick errands. I like to take this even when I'm out with my my kids oftentimes because it's carefree and it carries just my essentials. I don't need to lug around a huge bag with me everywhere I go. So I often will have a tote bag in the car, for instance, and have all my kid items in there, diapers, wipes, things like that I will need during the day, but I don't want to carry around with me every single place I go. And then when I get out of the car, I just really take this, and I have my emergency stash of my other stuff in my tote bag just in case. So I think this works really well for my lifestyle for that reason. Even if you have a lot of kids to tote around, I think this bag is great for your essentials. To be honest, as a side note, I think oftentimes we get into the trap of carrying around a diaper bag, or what you use as a diaper bag, everywhere you go when you're with your kids, and think you always need everything all the time. I really don't think that's the case. I think it's bad for your back carrying so much weight around. And really, most times, if you need something urgent, you can go to your car to get it. So that's kind of how I tend to do these things these days, at least. So this kind of bag works perfect just for me and toting my things around. Okay, so I'm going to leave it full here so I can show you how it looks full. But as you can see, the zipper entry wasn't too bad for me. It was pretty smooth, and I wanted to share with you a few mod shots about how I like to carry this bag. So the first option, of course, is really probably one of my favorite ways to carry it, ironically, but it's just to carry it around as a handheld hand carry bag. I love this handle. It's really adorable. If I leave this on the car seat, passenger seat, I just love how I can grab and go. I just grab it and pull it out with me. And I think it's just a cute look if you carry it around like this. So this is one of my favorite ways. When I carry like this, I go ahead and just let the straps dangle. I think it's a really nice look. I don't think the straps hook on anything or get caught on anything, and it's just really nice to be versatile, and you can quickly switch it to different styles just by leaving the straps just on there. So here's what it looks like as a hand carry when I'm standing up. Again, for my frame of reference, I'm about size 4, and this is how it looks when you carry it. So I just love carrying it around like this. The other way that I carry it, obviously, is how I think it was intended to be worn, as a backpack. So I go ahead and just, you can sling it over one shoulder, but I think it flops around a little too much, so I do intend to use both shoulders here. So to me, I don't think it looks strange. A lot of people do. I think just because it's so mini, and to wear a small backpack like this on your back sometimes looks a little bit awkward, I think. I don't think it hits or lays perfectly as a backpack, but it's quite functional. I think it's comfortable. It's small, so it's lightweight. The front straps just sit comfortably here on your shoulders, and I don't think they dig in or are uncomfortable in that way. So overall, I think it works as a mini backpack. I think it's super convenient, versatile in that way. So that's what that looks like. And if you're curious, I believe I have the straps adjusted at the shortest length. So one of the issues is if you want to make it even shorter backpack or higher up on your back, you can't. You would need to doctor this a little bit and make it a little bit shorter, add a few extra holes here, because I believe I have it on the shortest option. But a backpack maybe sitting higher up like this would also look nice, but I think you would have to adjust your straps on your own, because this is the way it sits on me at the shortest option. It can go lower, but I think it's low enough for me, so I don't want to make it any lower, but it could go lower if you'd like. Okay, and one of the nice things, of course, is how versatile this is. So I'm just going to quickly show you how you can take off these straps and adjust them to however you want. If you want to make it, for instance, a crossbody bag. So what I do is I just take off one strap, and then you can put the clip on the top here. So now I just have one strap, and I clip both to the top D-rings, and this makes it a really nice shoulder bag, in my opinion. I wouldn't typically carry it like this because I don't think it looks as good as other shoulder bags that are intended to be shoulder bags, but you can sling it over your shoulder like this. And then the other option, of course, is crossbody, and I think with the same length, it kind of works for me. I'm relatively petite, I would say, in terms of my stature, so I have it a little bit high up here, which I kind of like it sitting higher up on my hip, because for me it's easier to get into, and it doesn't flop around as much this way. But you could definitely make it lower, and oftentimes I would like a little bit of a lower hang on the crossbody. But in terms of just ease and versatility, if I don't want to keep adjusting the strap lengths, to be honest, in a pinch, this definitely works. I think it actually does look pretty cute as a crossbody style, I think. So I oftentimes will consider wearing it like this if I don't really want to have it on my back. I will just sling it over my shoulder like this, and then I just tuck this extra strap just in the bag, and then you're good to go. But I definitely don't like to have to adjust these particular adjustments on a day-to-day. So I need to find a length that works for me in all these different styles. And I think the shortest length here works okay for a crossbody, for shoulder bag, and for a backpack. So I just kind of stick with this length. Okay, so those are my mod shots, and I just want to take a couple seconds just to kind of go through my pros and cons. There are obvious ones here. I think you've heard them all before, but I just wanted to give you my little take on this bag and whether I think it was a worthwhile purchase. So in terms of the cons first, I'll say. So the major con, as you probably know, is the entry of the zipper. So as you can see here, this is the original version, so the zipper placket is covered, as you can tell. And the major con, I think, for most people on this bag is the zipper oftentimes gets a little awkward to use. As you can see for me, mine's pretty smooth, to be honest, and I haven't used this bag all that much overall, so it's been pretty easy for me to use. Sometimes, as you can see right now, it does seem to get a little bit caught, and you have to finagle it a little bit to get it down. So I can definitely see what people say when they say there's difficulties with the zipper. There have been different hacks to help get around that issue I've seen. So some people say you can put a little wax on the zipper, or if you put a bag charm on here, a little bit extra hang tag there, it's easier to get the zipper around. I have not tried those things because for me, again, I don't think my zipper is that bad or that difficult to use, so I haven't needed to try any other options. Plus, I'm a little nervous trying to put some wax on this bag, but you know, I think that's definitely a potential con, right? For backpacks or bags, you don't want to spend so much time fussing with a zipper to get into your stuff on a day-to-day. So I definitely see that as a con. For me, it's workable. It's not a huge deal, but I definitely think it's something to consider. Definitely true for the small pocket. It's not really functional, so definitely keep that in mind as well, just because it's small, and also the zipper entry area too is difficult to access. I think that's the major con for this bag. Other than that, it is a little bit on the small side. Even though I said it definitely holds all my essentials comfortably, it's a little on the small side, to be honest. So would I recommend this as your first designer bag that you're going to have to use day to day and you will not be able to buy another designer bag for quite some time? Then absolutely no, because I don't think it's the most practical bag because of its size and because it's relatively compact, such that you're not able to take it in many different locations and for many different functions. For instance, I don't think this is a good work bag to tote around your laptop, tote around your iPad, things like that, obviously. And if you're going to buy your first designer bag and one that you're going to splurge on and have to love for years and years to come, in my opinion at least, I would go for a bag that's a little more practical and you can use in many different settings. This bag really doesn't do that, in my opinion. I think it's more of a casual style bag that's just adorable and I love looking at and using, but I don't think it's more of a formal looking bag just because of the design. So I think that's another potential con, is that it doesn't have as much versatility in terms of where you can carry it. So as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, this is the original version of the Palm Springs mini backpack. But about a year ago, Louis Vuitton came up with a revamped version, and that was really to address the zipper issue, in my opinion at least. And the new versions, as you'll see, do not have this extra placket covering the zipper. So the zipper is fully exposed. So most people think that's a pro to the new version. Some people think it's a con because it changes the look of the bag. But to try to get around that issue with the zipper here, the new version, at least in my opinion, the main change of the new version is that it has the exposed zipper here. So if you see that, that's a sign of the new version. Other than that, I don't think there are any other major obvious changes to the new version of the bag. If you know of any major obvious ones besides the zipper change, definitely let me know. I'm just curious to hear about it. But I think that's one of the main ways that Louis Vuitton tried to address their issue with the zipper. Again, I haven't had major issues. There's no significant wear on the placket here either by using the zipper, so I think my version has worked for me. But I can definitely see how the new version might be appealing because I think the zipper entry is a lot more user-friendly according to a lot of the reviews. Okay, so moving on to some of the positives, what is great or the pros about this bag. So number one is I love how this looks. I mean, look at it. It's adorable. It's cute. You can use all those fun words for it, but it's such a really, really beautiful handbag in my opinion. And it really grew on me as I saw it over the years. And one that I just really enjoy carrying around and looking at, and one that I still get a lot of compliments on. Even though in my opinion this bag is getting somewhat oversaturated, I've seen it so many places, I think that people still love the look of this bag, and they still get compliments on it. So I think it's just a really, really great looking, adorable handbag. So that's number one. The second thing, of course, is versatility, not in the sense of the size and locations you can take it to, as I mentioned earlier. So what I mean by a pro of versatility is that it's carefree, in my opinion. I think by having the straps that are not vachetta, you can take this in inclement weather and you're able to wipe it clean pretty easily. I love the canvas version as well because, again, it's very wipeable. And it's super versatile in terms of how you carry it, as you saw. You can carry it many different ways. The strap lengths are adjustable. You can adjust the straps in different ways to have different styles of handbags. So I think it's so versatile in that way that that is definitely a pro for me. So I think this is a great bag for taking to short trips, to the grocery store, to the mall, being out with your kids if you want to be hands-free. This works for all those situations perfectly. So those are huge pros for me. Okay, so those are my highlights for my pros and cons. So overall, yes, obviously I'm very happy with this purchase. I love carrying it, like I mentioned. It makes me happy to carry it. I get a lot of compliments, and I think it's just a great, practical little mini bag. So overall, yes, I would totally recommend it. I don't think it's a bag that I would pick if I could only pick one luxury bag, that's for sure, because it's not versatile in terms of where you can carry it. But besides that, absolutely yes, I'm totally happy with this purchase, and I think it's more versatile than I thought it would be, to be quite honest. So I'm always curious, of course, if you own the Palm Springs Mini, definitely comment down below. Let me know what you think. Do you have the old version, new version? Do you think it's worthwhile if I splurge on the new version as well? Let me know. I want to hear what you think about it. I personally have not tried out the new version, so I'm not sure how different it is in terms of functionality, but I'm definitely curious to hear about how you guys like it. So if you haven't done so already, definitely hit the subscribe button link down below. I will promise you going forward many other luxury handbag videos like this if you like this kind of content. I do a lot of luxury handbag reviews. I will do comparisons in addition to unboxings hopefully soon. So if that kind of thing sounds interesting, definitely make sure you subscribe so you don't miss future content. Otherwise, I hope you're staying safe and healthy, and I will plan to see you again in my next video. Bye!